Homework battles, low grades, the silent treatment. If conversations about schoolwork in your house often end in stress and avoidance, you are witnessing a system under too much pressure. We can break that cycle today. By the end of this video, you will have a growth conversation plan to use as a starting point for changing the dynamic with your child. Grab a pen and paper. You will want to write out this specific framework to guide your next conversation. To improve academic performance, families have to shift the way they communicate about success and failure entirely. When a student struggles, it is rarely due to laziness. Most often, a drop in grades stems from a fear of failure, weak foundational skills, and intense parental pressure. Let's look at how this plays out in what we call the reactive loop. It begins with a parent's anxiety over their child's future, which often manifests as control. This directly creates fear in the child. That fear triggers avoidance. Students withdraw, hide their assignments, or rebel. That avoidance inevitably leads to poor performance in the classroom. Seeing those low grades validates the parent's initial anxiety. The parent applies even more pressure, locking both sides into a continuous cycle of stress. Breaking your own cycle of anxiety is the first step toward improving the student's grades. Decades of psychological research show that children process information and learn only when they feel secure. Rebuilding a struggling student's capacity to learn requires a structural framework. Look at your paper and draw this pyramid. Label the foundation block, emotional safety, and parental mindset. This relies on a biological mechanism. When a child feels judged or believes your love is conditional on their rank, the brain's prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for complex learning, becomes less active as the stress response takes over. Attempts to force strict study routines will likely collapse if you do not secure this emotional bedrock first. Now, let's write down 3 specific phrases you can use to build that safety. We call this the 3R framework. First is reflect. Acknowledging past missteps is a powerful way to build trust. Try saying, "I've realized I haven't always been the parent you needed regarding studies. How can I support you better?" Next is reframe. This shifts the household metric away from class rank and toward personal improvement. It doesn't matter what rank you got. What matters is, did you improve, even a little? Finally, reconnect. You can normalize failure by asking, "Failure is part of learning. What did this experience teach you?" These phrases are designed to lower the stakes of the conversation. By leading with vulnerability and focusing on progress, you create the space for a more resilient mindset to take hold over time. Once you have established emotional safety, you can pivot away from measuring the amount of time your child spends studying to focus on the methods they use. Traditional methods like cramming and rereading notes are highly inefficient. Evidence-based techniques like active recall and spaced repetition help the brain retain and apply information more effectively. Parents often misdiagnose a lack of proper study skills as a lack of discipline. Ask your child how they can make their studying feel more interactive. Try to bridge the gap between the things they naturally enjoy, like video games, and their academic work. Giving a child actual learning strategies helps transform them from a passive participant into an active problem solver. Look at your notebook. You should have the complete growth conversation plan mapped out. Your goal is to move the family toward an empathetic, growth-focused environment. By prioritizing emotional safety and equipping them with effective tools, you are laying the groundwork for your child to become a resilient learner. Initiate the 3R conversation tonight. Start with vulnerability and listen to their answers without judgment. Focusing on the environment where a child learns makes academic progress a natural outcome of their growth.